Clearly, computerized trading has had a huge impact on the market. Teresa Goody is with us, former SEC attorney. All right, Teresa, welcome back. Is the SEC going to try to do anything about this algorithms and computer trading?
The SEC has been looking at it recently and actually had a roundtable just in September trying to look at the market structure and the liquidity impacts of high-frequency trading and the algorithms. But they have been looking at this for years, and with the high-frequency trading, it's really difficult to find out exactly all the trading that's occurred. But what they are looking at, and which is I think the most important thing here, is the market structure and how the high-frequency traders actually impact the market structure and create volatility day to day within the day of the trading.
Is there a suggestion that there's an element of manipulation?
There can be some manipulation, and there can be, spoofing and not completing transactions. But I think more of the concern here is the fact that the trades are based on just price changes. And so once there's a price change, within nanoseconds, you have tons of these transactions in buying and selling, which exacerbates any minor price change and increases the volatility throughout the day trading. And so the retail investor, they may hear Apple's doing well today, but really it's just the high-frequency trading exacerbating a very minor issue, and then the retail investor goes on and buys. But this is an exacerbation, and it's not really a true valuation. Sure. It's not based on other factors like monetary policy or any of these other things. It's just purely based on a change in price.
I mean, look, I can see the problem. I just don't know what on earth you can do about it legally. I just don't see what you can do. However, I just want to talk about Facebook for a moment. As you know, Teresa, they've hired a former Justice Department antitrust lawyer, big-time lawyer in antitrust. Why are they doing that? Do they sense that an antitrust suit is coming against them?
I think that they anticipate that it could come against them, but even more so the fact that the Federal Trade Commission and the Department of Justice are looking at how we might actually change our antitrust laws and our consumer protection laws. So similar to back with AT&T when they had to break that up into the baby bells, looking at every time there's this new innovation and new technology, how do we apply our laws to that, and do we have to modify our laws to better protect consumers and to better protect competition?
Is there a move to rewrite the antitrust laws, bearing in mind today's technology?
That's something that they are definitely looking into, and that's something that I believe President Trump has been active in pursuing and wanting the Department of Justice to look into that in ways that we can make sure that the intent of our antitrust laws and of our consumer protection laws, that intent still applies equally to this new innovative technology.
Can you just give me your objective opinion here? Do you think we need to rewrite the antitrust laws because of the new technology?
I don't know that we need to rewrite them. I think it's a way how we apply them now. Okay. And so, and focusing on consumer protection here, I think is actually really important because there's a lot of the data privacy concerns.
Got it.
And some of the issue, I think, that why we can't actually just apply the laws that we currently have on the books is because it's not transparent. It's very opaque. Yeah. What they allow, how these algorithms work. The fact that an algorithm on a search like on Facebook or Google can completely plummet and take, a company out of business. I mean, how does that happen and how does that work? And there isn't enough transparency into that. So I think opening up and being able to look into that might allow us to apply our current rules.
Well said. Teresa Goody, we hope you have a good Thanksgiving, and we hope to see you again soon.
Thank you. You too. Thank you.
Thank you.